awareness and attention to the things that our party should be known for and historically have been known for.
For those who don't know, who was Frederick Douglass?
Well, Frederick Douglass was first born in slavery in 1818. He eventually died in 1895. He was a confidant to 5 presidents. He was an abolitionist. He got his freedom when he was in his 20s, went overseas, came back from overseas, and really was one of the primary people when it came down to the abolitionist movement in order to discontinue slavery in the United States. And so he was on the front end of that, as well as the beginning of the Republican Party in 1854.
Dr. Tim Johnson with us, joining us from Atlanta. He's the national president and founder of the Frederick Douglass Foundation. And so basically, let me get this right. You're basically involved in the movement to educate and encourage African American folks to consider conservative, or they don't. Many African Americans don't like that word, do they?
Well, they don't. You know, it's funny. It's funny that you even use African American, because I tell people I've never been to Africa.
I don't know.
I'm completely high.
Well, you know, us white people, we don't know what to say anymore. We're scared. We don't know what to say.
Well, see, I'm going to empower you today. I'm an American. My suntan just lasts a little longer than everybody else's.
Okay.
But I'm an American.
But you've never been to Africa. You know,
I haven't been to Africa. I don't know anything about Africa other than it's a continent.
I have been to Europe, but nobody calls me a European American, and that's where my ancestors came from. They just call you a white guy. So I don't know.
Exactly. So I'm just Tim Johnson, American. If you want.
All right, there you go. I'll
guy,
just call you Tim Johnson, American. But you're trying to reach the black community and educate them on the values that are best for that community and for America at large.
Absolutely, and Tim, the one thing I would tell you is I think what's more important is that we have to start talking as Americans. You know, my education is not about just going to one set of schools. I've served 23 years in Uncle Sam's Army, and so I served in the military. It wasn't about black, white, yellow, and green. It was about that green uniform that we all wore. And so it's the same thing that we believe at the Frederick Douglass Foundation. We are the largest Christ-centered, multi-ethnic, and Republican ministry in America today, and we're very proud of it. We're very proud of what we've been able to do. We're proud of the attention that we've been able to put out there. But we want to continue to educate all people, not just black people, but we want to educate all people. But our emphasis when it comes down to the black part of it is that we want to let people know that the blacks have contributed so much to this country that oftentimes they don't learn about it in high school. They don't learn about it in college. And we don't even learn about it over the coffee table when we're talking to our friends. And so we're trying to share that information so that people recognize that our party is the party of inclusion. It always has been. It's kind of strayed off from that. But we're realizing that if we as people get involved, that we can help bring the party back to that place that it historically has been and really needs to be as we move forward in the 21st century.
All right, tell us about there's a conference going on in Baton Rouge of black leaders that are involved, and I guess laymen, so to speak, that are involved in the same movement you're describing, and it's called the At-Large Conference. The At-Large Conference. When is it, and what is it about?
Well, it's in Baton Rouge. It's been hosted by C. O'Brien. Hopefully many of your listeners had an opportunity to see his movie, which I also was in, which is called Runaway Slaves. And this movie is kind of a chronicle of C.O. going around the United States. It kicks off with Glenn Beck's program that he had in D.C. a couple of years ago. And the intent of it is to talk about, the differences of, in essence, black conservatives versus black liberals. And the fact that those of us who are considered conservatives, we are off the plantation. We're no longer held down and shackled to the mindset of those who are still believing that the Democratic Party has been and continues to be their friend. Those of us who escape, those of us who see things a little differently, those of us who believe in capitalism and believe that the best government is a smaller government, are now seen as those runaway slaves. And so he's hosting this event. It's going to be in Baton Rouge on Thursday and Friday. Anybody is welcome to attend. It's going to be at the Crown Plaza Hotel, Crown Plaza, Baton Rouge. And we look forward to people coming down there. The number of speakers are going to be there, myself, Deneen Barilli, Star Parker, Ryan Boomberger, and a host of other people are going to be there speaking on a variety of different topics. And so we're looking forward to just have an opportunity to come together and to share our thoughts and our experiences with those in attendance.
Talking to Dr. Tim Johnson. He's president and founder of the Frederick Douglass Foundation in Atlanta. And I'm Tim Wildman, and we're talking. And also now Dr. Ray Pritchard is back with me, and Ray is co-hosting the program today. And you there, Ray?
I sure am, Tim. And Dr. Johnson, I just want to ask
you. Please call me Tim.
All right, Tim. Thank you very much. Tell us, do you think that the time is finally ripe for a black conservative movement to actually grab hold? What's changed that gives you hope that at long last these ideas can take root?
Well, the interesting part about your question is that conservatism within the black community has always been there. I think we've allowed the liberals to write the script. And there are many of us who are sick and tired of the liberal script. It doesn't work for us. It hasn't worked for us. And so we're rewriting the script or reclaiming those things. I mean, if you didn't know, the NAACP was started by Republicans. If you didn't know, historical black colleges and universities were started by Republicans. If you didn't know, the 14th, 15th, and 16th Amendment of the Constitution was done by Republicans. And so the reality of it is many of those things that have been beneficial to the black community were kicked off by Republicans. But most people don't know that, one, because Republicans don't know that, but two, because liberals have stolen that history. This year we celebrate the Emancipation Proclamation, 150 years. They talk about Abraham Lincoln, but they forget Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. We talk about the 50th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King making I Have a Dream speech in Washington, D.C. Dr. Martin Luther King was a Republican. So there's a number of things, even this movie that just came out recently about Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson was a Republican. And so there are many things that I think, as you ask that question, we articulating and making it relevant to the day. It's great that we can talk about slavery. It's great that we can talk about the Reconstruction period, but we need to talk about things of the day and how going in this mindset of having the government do everything for you means the government also has the same power to take everything from you. And I think a lot of people are starting to realize that. There was a mindset in 2008, even to the point of 2012, that people thought because Barack Obama had a dark skin, that meant that they were going to benefit. And now they're recognizing things in a lot of instances have gotten worse, not better. And so just because you have a dark-skinned person in the presidency doesn't mean that it's going to be better. And just because you have a Democrat in the presidency doesn't mean things are going to get better. Not that everybody on the Republican side is great either, but we have some opportunities. And so I think the time is right if we do a better job of articulating not only the past, but also the present and the future, that we'll see a lot more people.
Our guest, or the Frederick Douglass Foundation, two websites I would refer you to if you're interested in this conference in Baton Rouge. When is the conference?
It's going to be Thursday and Friday.
That he described earlier. Go to the website atlargeconference.com, atlargeconference.com. Is that just for black Americans or?
Oh, no, that's for anybody. No, okay. That's for anybody. Everybody and everybody's welcome.
So you don't discriminate?
Oh, absolutely not. As I said, our organization is the largest Christ-centered, multi-ethnic organization in the world. I mean, in the country.
Yeah. And your website for the Frederick Douglass Foundation is what?
TFDF, the Frederick Douglass Foundation, TFDF.org.
Okay, and people can get in touch with you that way?
Absolutely.
Okay. Hey, Tim, thanks so much for your time. And
thank you.
Appreciate you clearing up the fact you'd never been to Africa before. And if you ever go, then you can call yourself an African American. Okay.
I'm still gonna call myself. I love the 50 stars and the 13 stripes. So
I got you, brother. Hey, I'm with you. I'm with you. Thanks, Tim. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. All right. Do you know what we're talking about, Ray? Or were you